My persuasive speech will be about drugs in sports and why I think that they are bad and they should not be a part of it. Performance-enhancing drugs in sports have been a problem for many years and is still being dealt with today. They are currently illegal in every sport, and I believe that they should be because they're just unfair. Some common questions about them might be, why do athletes risk their careers by taking these PEDs or performance-enhancing drugs, and do these sports that these athletes play cause them to put them under pressure and force them to take these drugs and make them feel like they need to be the best that they can be? Yeah, they think they need to be in the best physical condition possible. Using PEDs should be banned and punished for, and I think these punishments should be more severe to force athletes to just not want to do these anymore. And the health ramifications are just bad, the long-term effects are bad, and I will just be talking about this later anymore. And more importantly, it leaves a bad moral message for the athletes later in life. Now, many people might be asking, what are PEDs and what they are. PEDs are performance-enhancing drugs, are various substance, chemical agents, or procedures designed to provide an advantage in athletic performance. Now, PEDs affect the body by enlarging muscles or blood's oxygen carrying to the body, and they just help you better in sports. These PEDs can take a toll on the body and be considered dangerous if used for a long period of time. Some PEDs some types of PEDs could be stimulants, anabolic steroids, human growth hormones, or otherwise known as HGH. Now, the first type I'll be talking about is blood doping, and this refers to kind of the practice and where you go through a process of dialysis where you just insert more oxygen into your blood, and this causes your muscles to kind of take on more than what they usually are. And a famous person that was actually caught doing this was Lance Armstrong in 2012. He was a famous American cyclist. He's won the Tour de France countless times, and he actually got caught blood doping, and all of his championships got taken away. The next one we were talking about is just steroids. Anabolic steroids are synthetic derivatives of testosterone, which is a natural male hormone. And they mostly are chemically manufactured, and they can be either ingested or taken through shots. And when these steroids are taken, they are meant to increase muscle growth and body protein metabolism level. And in certain cases, they can be good, but also mainly in athletics, they're used to just build muscle faster and get bigger. And they're illegal across all sports too. And I would say, for me personally, I would much rather go through the grind and get bigger myself than just cheat my way through the top like some of these athletes do. The next PED that I'm talking about is human growth hormones, or HGH. Now, human growth hormone is perhaps one of the most important hormones in the body of the countless hormones that are in the body. It causes the body to grow as human growth hormones, and it can be used in athletics to help your body grow and regulate the body's ratio of lean muscle mass or fat to tolerate larger workout levels. The next one is stimulants. Stimulants are substances that act directly on the central nervous system to speed up parts of the brain and body. Common one you might know is adrenaline. Even caffeine can be considered a stimulant, and it can be used to increase alertness, reduce tiredness, and increase aggressiveness. And I think this is unfair because it kind of increases your reaction time in some cases, and it'll make you faster than some of the other opponents. And also, in some cases, when taking stimulants, it prevents you from feeling pain, which is kind of a never good thing in contact sports, because if you have an injury and use this, the only thing that it can do is you could further injure yourself in worse ways. Now, with all these drugs being used, there must be ways to catch them. Some examples are the liquid chromatograph, which tests hair for multiple types of illegal substances. There's the gas spectrometer, which tests your urine for illegal substances. There is the HGH test, which they look at your blood and they look for any source of HGH. And then there's the selective androgen receptor modulators, which searches your blood for testosterone masking agent. And I think as more and more athletes use these drugs, there needs to be more tests that come out to help find out who is using them, and the proper punishment will be dealt out. Now, if you caught earlier, there are two sides to this argument, and one of the things is that people say that this athlete, it's their choice, and they're choosing to do these certain things to their body. But I mean, I kind of compare that to like, you're letting people smoke cigarettes, even though everyone knows that it's bad for you, you're just kind of you're still letting them do it. But in this case, it is illegal, and there is something that can be done against it. And I think, I think all of this is wrong, in that in sports, even using these drugs is illegal, and something should be done. Now, sport is for enjoyment and competitive, and usually aims to improve. But what is the difference between increasing skill and performance by training and taking drugs? The difference is the effort and morality in both of these. There is way more effort in going through diets, workouts, and living just this type of lifestyle. Drugs is kind of the cheater's way to the top. You just go by it quick and you just skip all the other steps. These players are not only cheating themselves, but they're also cheating their teammates and any of the opponents they play that are going through all of this legit. And another kind of way to look at this is role models. Some kids look up to these professional athletes, and if they find out that these athletes use drugs to get to the top, sometime later in their life, they might think that it is okay for them to use these drugs, and that is wrong. And in fact, 1 in 20 teenagers report using steroids to increase their muscle mass at some time during their athletic performance. And another thing is the long-lasting health effects of taking these. Some side effects of taking some of these drugs could include blood clotting problems, high blood pressure, high cholesterol, liver problems, mood swings, and reduced sperm production in some cases. Now, start early. Some ways to prevent this is to start early as parents. Just help them teach them what is right and the proper way to go at things. I was lucky; I had good role models. My older brother, he kind of taught me how to go, and he showed me how to do the grind and everything. And I just came to learn to love the grind, and it's just something that I've always enjoyed. And also, once you get older, be a good role model, because some kids look up to you and they will do what you do. Now, many athletes in professional sports are using these performance-enhancing drugs to get a competitive edge on their opponents, which is wrong. And I mean, more athletes are getting fined and suspended each year, and I think these punishments should just get more severe, because they really want to stop this. And they're just setting a bad example for our youth, and doing the work instead of cheating all the way up to the top. It's just kind of cheating everyone else that goes at it legit, and they just can't. And athletes that do these drugs, they're just lazy, and they don't just want to do any of it. And I don't think that's the right way to go at it if you're an athlete. And I just think we need to set a good example for the younger generation below us. Thank you.